In spring 2025, the USS Nimitz, a symbol of American naval power, arrived in the South China Sea, not by chance but as a strategic move. Positioned near the contested Scarborough Shoal, it sent a clear message of U.S. commitment to regional allies. This deployment coincided with Exercise Balikatan, highlighting the U.S.-Philippines alliance. Fighter jets from the Nimitz underscored America's strategic interest in a free Indo-Pacific. The Nimitz's presence was a response to China's aggressive actions, aiming to stabilize tensions and uphold international law. This mission reassured allies of U.S. support against coercion. The Nimitz's patrol demonstrated the U.S. commitment to regional security. The South China Sea, a hotspot of territorial disputes, has long been a flashpoint in the Asia-Pacific region, drawing the attention of global powers and regional actors alike. In recent years, it has become a focal point of U.S.-China competition, with both nations seeking to assert their influence over these strategic waters. China's sweeping claims, marked by the so-called Nine-Dash Line, clash with those of Southeast Asian nations, including the Philippines, Vietnam, and Malaysia, all of whom rely on these waters for trade and resources. The U.S. Navy's presence, exemplified by the USS Nimitz and other powerful vessels, reinforces Washington's commitment to freedom of navigation and the international rules-based order. The recent visit of the USS George Washington to Manila further solidified U.S.-Philippines ties, sending a clear message of support to its treaty ally. These high-profile deployments are part of a broader U.S. strategy to challenge excessive maritime claims and ensure open sea lanes for all nations. The U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty, signed in 1951, remains a cornerstone of their security relationship, promising mutual support in the face of external threats. Carrier deployments operationalize this treaty, ensuring that U.S. support is not just symbolic, but backed by real military capability and readiness. Through joint exercises and coordinated patrols, the U.S. strategy reassures allies, strengthens regional partnerships, and deters potential adversaries from aggressive actions. The visible presence of carrier strike groups signals U.S. readiness to uphold international law and maintain peace and stability in these contested waters. The U.S. commitment transforms the treaty into a living reality, fostering trust and cooperation between the two nations. Ultimately, this strategy helps maintain regional balance, counters China's growing pressure, and underscores the enduring importance of alliances in the Indo-Pacific. U.S.-Philippines relations have evolved into a robust military partnership, built on decades of shared history and mutual interests. This alliance is not just symbolic, it is a cornerstone of security and stability in Southeast Asia, reflecting a deep commitment to collective defense and regional peace. The partnership is central to U.S. strategy in the Indo-Pacific, where maintaining a balance of power is crucial amid rising tensions and shifting alliances. Over 500 joint military engagements are planned for 2026, ranging from large-scale exercises to intelligence sharing and humanitarian missions. This level of cooperation demonstrates the depth of integration between the two militaries. Exercise Balikatan, the flagship annual drill, showcases enhanced cooperation, involving complex amphibious landings, live-fire exercises, and disaster response training to ensure joint readiness for any scenario. The Expanded Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, grants the U.S. access to key strategic sites in the Philippines, allowing for rapid deployment and logistical support in times of crisis. New bases in Luzon and Batanes significantly enhance U.S. power projection, placing American forces closer to potential flashpoints in vital sea lanes. This forward-leaning strategy is designed to counter China's ambitions by controlling strategic maritime passages and ensuring freedom of navigation in contested waters. Joint exercises in Batanes rehearse defensive scenarios, sending a clear signal to Beijing and reinforcing the Philippines' resolve to defend its territory. The partnership benefits both nations, deterring encroachment, boosting military modernization, and fostering interoperability between their armed forces. U.S. access to Philippine bases complicates Beijing's calculations, making it harder for China to project power unchallenged in the region. The alliance also strengthens the broader U.S. network of alliances, reinforcing collective security and enhancing deterrence in its competition with China. The U.S. presence provides a credible deterrent against territorial encroachment, reassuring allies and partners across the region. Access to U.S. training, advanced technology, and joint planning accelerates the Philippines' military development, making its forces more capable and resilient. The partnership is mutually beneficial, enhancing regional security, building trust, and promoting a rules-based order in the Indo-Pacific. Ultimately, the US-Philippines alliance stands as a strategic advantage, shaping the future of the Indo-Pacific and ensuring peace and stability for generations to come. China views the US-Philippines alliance as a significant threat to its regional ambitions, especially as Washington deepens its security commitments in Asia. The growing partnership between the US and the Philippines is seen by Beijing as a direct challenge to its influence and long-term strategic goals in the South China Sea. In response, Beijing has ramped up its military activity, deploying more ships and aircraft to the region, and employing gray zone tactics that blur the line between peace and conflict. Chinese vessels frequently harass Philippine supply missions, using water cannons and dangerous maneuvers to intimidate and disrupt operations, all while testing the resolve of both the US and the Philippines. Unauthorized incursions near the Batanes Islands, just off the northern tip of the Philippines, send a clear signal of China's displeasure with the growing US presence and its willingness to push boundaries. The PLA Navy now conducts large-scale exercises, showcasing its rapidly growing power and technological advancements, while signaling its readiness to defend its claims. These maneuvers directly challenge US naval supremacy, as Chinese warships shadow American vessels and assert their own presence in contested waters. The result is a volatile security environment, where the risk of miscalculation or accidental confrontation is ever present, raising concerns among regional states. By building military bases on artificial islands and increasing patrols, China normalizes its military presence, making intervention by outside powers more costly and complicated. The region now faces a tense stalemate, with both sides probing for weaknesses and testing each other's red lines, while the world watches closely. In response, the US and its allies conduct freedom of navigation patrols and joint exercises, aiming to deter aggression and reassure partners of their commitment to regional stability. As the high-stakes competition for regional dominance continues, the balance of power in the Asia-Pacific remains uncertain, with the potential for escalation never far away. The South China Sea is now heavily armed, with advanced military hardware deployed by all sides. The US positions cutting-edge systems in the Philippines to deter aggression. Typhoon mid-range capability launchers and NMESA systems enhance US strike capabilities. These systems threaten hostile naval forces attempting to pass through key choke points. The US carrier's air power projection creates a multi-layered defense network. The Philippines modernizes its forces, acquiring BrahMos missiles for self-defense. This shifts the military balance, with land-based assets controlling the sea. China's ships face a distributed threat, increasing risks of aggressive actions. The US-Philippine strategy maintains stability and upholds a rules-based order. The advanced weaponry deters aggression and preserves regional peace. Diplomatic engagement complements military posturing in countering regional coercion. Philippine President Marcos Jr. met US President Trump, reaffirming their strategic partnership. US Secretary of State Rubio's visit to Manila reiterated America's commitments. Security aid exemptions supported the Philippines' military modernization. Military-to-military diplomacy builds trust and ensures operational coordination. These efforts reassure the Philippines of US backing against intimidation. A united front communicates resolve to China, reducing miscalculation risks. Open communication channels aim to manage tensions and deter aggression. The integrated approach of diplomacy and force navigates Indo-Pacific challenges. The US-Philippines alliance is a strategic pillar for regional stability. The partnership aims to preserve peace and secure a free Indo-Pacific. The northern Philippines, especially Batanes, is a frontline in great power competition. Its strategic location makes it crucial for US and Chinese military planning and regional security. The US aims to control choke points, complicating China's force projection. New military facilities and missile systems enhance US defensive posture. The local population prepares for potential conflict scenarios. Humanitarian concerns add complexity to strategic calculations. The US and Philippines build a credible deterrent through modernization. Diplomatic channels with China remain open to prevent conflict. The USS Nimitz's presence symbolizes a long-term strategy for peace. The alliance ensures a free and open Indo-Pacific for all nations.